crazy.
How long ago did you start doing that?
That was
7 years ago, 8 years ago.
8 years ago.
Wow.
And so anyways, long story short, we both went through the same training program. All right, it cost us a lot of money. I mean, that first official mentor where I had to pay such money, I was like, hey, I want to learn from you. I saw him speak at a big convention, and he's like, yeah, I'll help you out. I was like, you'll help me? He's like, yeah. I said, I'll work hard. He said, that's good. I said, I'll do everything you tell me to do. I'm coachable. He said, that's good. I said, I want to be your mentee. He's like, I want to be your mentor. $20,000. I was like, oh! God damn. Yeah, hit me with the big one. But anyways, I knew that I needed to get in this field. So, hey, I worked out a deal. I said, let me split it on payments, you know, can I put this on layaway? How can we work this out? But I ended up getting started with that guy, and I met really awesome people. And so Albert Corey was one of those people. And it's amazing to see that today, with the training that we have, he's still going. Literally, we were in the same segment where we had dozens of people, almost 100 people that paid the same price, did the same thing, went through the same training. 8 years later, they're not doing the same thing. These guys are all doing something different. And now 8 years later, I still see this guy killing it, flying to Chicago, flying to Dallas, Texas, flying all over the country, literally to do speaking gigs, and he's spoken with big time people. Bill Walsh, one of our mentors, he's spoken along names of other multimillionaires and billionaires. This guy knows how to work his way into those rooms. So give a warm welcome, a round of applause to my man, Mr. Albert Corey. Okay, very good. So here, you guys know the drill. You guys got a mic. You guys get to share. Me and Albert come from the same place, so we get to share. We all come from the same place, but you know, oh man, I'm falling over. Are you guys having that problem? No, you guys good? All right.
Good.
All right, just me. Beautiful. So one more round of applause for these guys. All right, so we're going to hear from you. Okay, so we'll start off with Albert. Go ahead and just share 1 to 2 minutes. Share who you are and share what it is that you do.
Hey everybody, my name is Albert Corey. So we're going to show you how to put more profits in your pocket with less stress and capital. So raise your hand if you want to have more ching-ching in your pocket. Say yes.
Yes.
So you got to come in the back and talk to me. And I've been doing it for almost 41 years, serving over 50,000 business owners. There's not one business I haven't worked with. And some crazy ones at that.
All right.
Well, first off, I just want to thank Carl for putting this together. These events are always awesome, man. If there's one thing I love, man, is being around quality people and looking around this room. I mean, there is a lot of quality people in this room. Yeah, so one time for Carl, please.
Thank you.
Well, Carl did a pretty good job, I think, introducing me, right? So I'm a barber. I charge a lot for haircuts. But like he mentioned, I come from an industry where, you know, we started out very humble. I saw my dad make it in door-to-door sales, direct sales. And that's kind of where I got like the sales background beginning from. He's like my biggest inspiration, my biggest mentor. Been a barber since I was 12 years old, but always had a passion for money, so I kept leaving the industry. So I was like, man, you can't get rich cutting hair. Right? And then I got in the same company with Carl, like you mentioned, we had the same mentor. And, you know, really like you said, I took those principles of sales, of value, of marketing, and just brought them to the barber world, maxed that out, and now what I do is I teach barbers and hairstylists how to use social media to pack out their schedules and then create content to raise their perceived value and just fill out their books, raise their prices, and rinse and repeat until they max it out, and now I'm helping them become coaches to help others do the same.
Love it. All right.
Hello everyone, my name is Ty Grady. I'm originally from Louisville, Kentucky. All right, life's good for me now, folks, but there was a time where I lived life with dysfunctionality. I dealt with gangs, drugs, you know, but we believe in transformation, right, Carl? Right? We gotta believe.
Right.
Absolutely. I'm a real estate investor, entrepreneur, speaker, and author with over 20 years in the banking, mortgage, and finance industry. I'm a professor of business management, finance, and entrepreneurship, and I get a thrill, you know, by listening to everyone's story. I've helped people along the way with their financial success, long-term growth plan, and that's what we're here for. You know, we're here to build you up, to build stronger people, stronger businesses, stronger communities, and stronger economies. You know, so we want to make sure that we listen to you, help you with your goals, get you some alternative pathways to be successful, because success is yours. And thank you, Carl, again, for having me to be a part of it.
I love that. Fantastic. Okay, so the next question I have for you guys is, let's give people a little bit more insight as to like who it is that you're helping. So who's your ideal client, right? Who's your avatar? Who are you spending most of your time with? And I want you to share like what's the big issue or struggle or challenge that they're dealing with. And I want you to talk about how you specifically enable them and empower them to like deal with that and overcome those challenges so that they can create success. All right, so yeah, we'll start with you, Ted.
The founder and CEO of Freedom Financial Institute. The problem is, I'm doing research and with my partners, we have over 100 years in banking. Banks haven't built systems to support small to medium-sized businesses.
That's right.
Right?
Yep.
And then as me and Albert were talking about, then there's access. Often we don't come from communities where banks are there. So what we want to do is we want to get you the funding, we want to get you access to capital, and then offer the coaching and consulting so you don't get overlooked, right? We want to help the underserved communities, the women businesses, the minority businesses, and bring the bank to you. So that's what we're looking to support, right? And we're looking to build stronger, more vibrant communities for you.
Love that. All right. How many guys need some more money and have it for your business? Say ah. If you think this might be someone you would want to get to know here tonight, say yes. All right, good. All right, cool. Esteban, go ahead. You're up.
All right, so my ideal client, I really serve anybody, any industry, but since we're talking about ideal client, my ideal client is barbers and hairstylists, right? And that's important, I think, for everybody to know, like, the difference between who you can serve and who your ideal client is, right? Because that can make a huge difference in how much money you make from what you do based on, targeting that right ideal avatar. So I target barbers and hairstylists mainly, but I do work with other people. The biggest challenges they deal with, man, is, I'll be honest, it's mindset. This mindset. Barbers got poor, broke mindsets, bad habits. They decide to be barbers because they want to be the boss, but they ain't the boss of nothing. They say, if you're the boss, you need to fire yourself because they don't have no discipline. They don't manage their money. It's like, it's crazy. It's so crazy. I did it for so long, right? And then they get into bad habits. Drinking, the weekends, the quick money. So what I do is I teach them how to create structure, create discipline, track their income, market, but also become the best version of themselves, right? After accomplishing a lot of success, I went up and down many times, but I went down the wrong path, gangs, I've been locked up, drugs, partying, all that. I done it when I was low, I done it when I was high. I lost it all, I built it back up. So now I'm at a point where I really just focus on helping barbers become the best version of themselves in all areas. But I think everything does start with the mindset.
Absolutely.
So I've been in business for 41 years and serving 50,000 clients of every kind of business. But Esteban, you said it right. Right now I'm on a mission. You see, most small business owners, okay, they can't get out of their way. I'm going to talk about later that they need cash flow. So my ideal client is the small business owners that look at their bank statement and say, oh my God, what happened to money this month? Because they don't know how to get out of their way. They're not making sure that their taxes are optimized. Somebody's not there to give them a pow-pow to make sure that you have the buckets and everything arranged. And I've worked with every single bit. I bet you there's not one business here that if I talk to you, that I can't tell you exactly what you're doing and what you're doing, because I worked with everything from lizard ranchers to truck drivers, and can I say the one who makes the most money?
Yeah, you can. Go for it.
Porn stars who make $1 million a year. Sorry. But
How do you know?
because they're 1099 from the Bang Brothers said so.
That's right.
So I'm here today to make sure that it doesn't matter where you're at, that I'm going to talk about later, if you see my banner here, that I used a red light, traffic light system that we're going to explain. But I bet you know what happened to Esteban? Everybody of your clients are the reds. And believe it or not, a lot of my clients who come into my store are reds. And I gotta get you out of reds. Because the red light people, guess what? They buy everything based on, oh good, I got $5 in my account today, so I can go spend 10. Right? So my job is to help you get out of that, to make sure you're paying less to the government. Because that's the biggest thing in life also. You know, one thing that I learned a couple of weeks ago, guess what? You know, everybody in this business has one extra apartment you don't realize. You know who that is?
IRS.
Thank you. Well, most people aren't planning. They're just, you know, when I do the return and they say, what? I gotta owe? Yeah, you never bothered taking enough money out of your paycheck, sir. Or you made your $1 million and you know, what happened to my money? Well, maybe if you put money away, you might be able to, or maybe you had somebody help you get your ducks in line. That you're not gonna be crying, you know, that when you gotta pay. Because nobody ever helped you and helped you understand finance, as we said, Ty, earlier, their financial literacy. Oh, everybody raise your hand, y'all like to make money, right?
Yep.
But you're not planning for everything else. And that's one of my new mission in my life. And Carl knows we started together. And one thing I hate people telling me, Carl knows me well, and Carlos knows been in my office, right?
Yep.
The joke, some people tell me when I'm speaking, oh, I have to be here. Guys who know me, do I really call? You've been in my office, you've been in my office. If I'm not here to help you take your stuff to the next level, you been a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, I went a few weeks ago.
Right, so I'm here to help you.
The establishment is A+.
So I'm here to help everybody to take you. And if you want, I'm in the back, and I guess I'll have my 15-minute presentation in a little bit.
All right, very good. Round of applause right there. Okay, so give us a little bit more insight. Let's dive a little bit deeper. Can we dive a little bit deeper? Is that okay? Yeah. All right, good. So I want to hear about something worth bragging about for you guys. Like, what are you guys most proud of that you've been able to do in this field with your business? And I don't care if it's something that you personally accomplished, whether that's the amount of money you made or the amount of people that you've helped or how long you've been doing something, or maybe it's the amount of success you've helped someone else have, right? And it doesn't need to be a gazillion dollars, but something that you feel really proud of. Say, look, I work with this person, first they were down and out. Because of my coaching, because of my environment, because of my system, now they're able to X, Y, Z, right? It could be something that you're doing for your community. Just talk to me and share, like, based on everything that you're up to, the person you're helping and all that, like, what are you really most proud of?
Well, one of my biggest accomplishments was I started 41 years ago with $10, okay? And now I'm up to 170,000 clients. Just the guy where everybody said, oh, you can't do shit. I said, okay. Now they ask me, now I am going to say, wow, when you see my stuff on Instagram. But one of the coolest things that I think that I'm the most proud of is I got one of my not older customer, but he's like 34. And when he came to my office, he's the only Cuban country western star. Yeah, Ricky. And when Ricky came to my office 10 years ago, he didn't know anything. Zero. Now I got him to go like sell merchandise on stages. You know, when he speaks, he uses a QR code, which you can text me in a text profit 26786 to build your business. He didn't know anything. And now I'm so proud when I do, and we also do his bookkeeping because we do everything. So he went from zero to making a living being the only Cuban country star, you know, with his dad who speaks a little English from Hialeah. Who's really kicking butt thanks to me helping him. And that to me is, and by the way, I got hundreds of clients who come into my office that I've helped take it to the next level. So it's not always about the money I've made, but how many people go, wow, Albert, my wisdom and knowledge took them there. And I go toe to toe with almost everybody here, no matter what the business, and how I took it.
I love that. Oh, really quick. Actually, hold on to that. So, first of all, 170,000 customers. Is that a lot? Is that a lot of customers? Yes? That's a lot of customers. Who have you had the privilege of, because you do talks and speeches all over, who have you had the privilege of sharing the stage just with? Can you share some of the names?
Sure. Les Brown, Sharon Lecter. I know him very well. Obviously, Bill Walsh. I mean, he texts me all the time. But I can be speaking everywhere in the country. Bill will text me. I was out on the phone with him. Hey, you want to go to New York tomorrow? There's a great event. Come. You know, I mean, my wife won't let me go to everyone, so I gotta be careful. So Les Brown, Sharon Lecter, those are the two that come to my mind. The quickest ones that I spoke with, and hundreds of other like people. And guess what? You know what I think success really is getting out of the house. You know, I think getting out of the house and saying hi to everyone. Because let me tell you what even happened yesterday. Just getting out of the house and smiling could be your key to success. So I'm walking. I have an empty apartment. We are investors in apartments, and I needed a kitchen though. Well, I'm walking like I do every day in Miami Springs, walking down the canal, and somebody has a T-shirt on that says, you know, something that says cabins. So the point is you just gotta get out because you just don't know who you meet. If I didn't go to that one event, and I'm gonna met Carl like 7 years ago, and now that he's sitting in that picture, yeah, right there. And by the way, if I see the picture, I'll never forget when I was on that story still stuck in my head, like 8 years later.
So I think one of the things I'm most proud of is definitely my success stories, like the success stories of my students. And not just that, but I'm also very proud of the fact that that's actually what I'm most proud of now, because it used to be more about the money. Right? I was always about the money. It was always the dollar. I was always get rich, right? And having last month being my best month ever in business and like launching something really big, I just realized, like, you were at the event, you saw people crying, it was crazy, it was intense, but my purpose has now shifted from dollar bills to success stories. And in some weird way, the more success stories you get, the more dollar bills come in, right? But it's a beautiful thing because literally, like, that's my thing now. It's like, once somebody gets started working with me, it's like, how quick can I get them a win? Right? But when we talk about the biggest ones I'm proud of, I have a hairstylist. She shared her story at my event that Carl spoke at last month. She got to me, she was a referral from somebody. Actually, no, I'm sorry with the one that referred her. The one that referred her got on my call by accident, right? I have appointment setters in my DMs, and I mainly just coach barbers. And somehow she slipped through the cracks, like, get on with the stylist. I'm like, oh man, she's not qualified, but she seems real cool, Dominican lady. Great energy, so I didn't even really treat it like a sales call. Took the call, she was super cool. I was like, man, this lady needs help. I want to help her, so I offered her the program. And then she broke down crying, like busted down crying, and she was going through a very, very tough situation at home, like violence, like it was really, really bad. She used to be the breadwinner, and she got in a car accident. She was paralyzed for like 2 months, and her husband drained her bank account, was beating her, like she couldn't walk, couldn't move, and he would let her like go to the bathroom or something. She was going through some crazy stuff. And I knew I could help her. She didn't have the money. And this is the first time I've ever done this, but it was like God spoke in my heart at that moment, and he was like, you know you can help her, right? Like, you know you can get her out if she applies what you do. So I told her, I said, listen, I'm gonna offer you something I've never done before. I'm gonna be very transparent. I said, I'm gonna tell you exactly what to do, and the second you don't do what I tell you to do, I'm gonna stop coaching you because you don't have any money. So I'm gonna coach you for free, basically. Like, I need to make sure that you do what you do. And long story short, 6 months later, she was making $10,000 a month. We got her a new place. We got her out of that toxic situation, and she's living a completely different life now. That's really one of my stories I'm most proud of, but she brought me another hairstylist that looks successful on the outside, owned her salon, owned salon suites, had been doing hair for like 20 years, and she was only making like $4,000 a month behind the chair. And she was about to lose everything. She was 3 months behind on her mortgage, and they were like, hey, you're 3 weeks away from losing the house, losing everything. And we got on the call. She was referred by the other one, so there was some credibility there. And when I finished and I told her the price, she was like, listen, I've got $2,000, $2,200 in my bank account right now. I'm gonna give you this $2,000. And she jokes about all the time, she's like, but you better make sure I make my money. Long story short, in 3 weeks, she made $15,000. She saved her house, saved her business. Month 2, she made $11,000 in 3 weeks. Month 2, she made $15,000. Month 3, she made $20,000. completely changed her life, and she upgraded to the salon program. And it's just like that. Those are the two that stand out the most to me. But yeah, man, student wins. That's if there's one thing I have to tell you guys, like, base your business on the results you get your people, and you will soon have so much business you won't even know what to do with it.
Fantastic.
We want to help you create wealth, freedom, and independence. Did you know that this country is creating 1,100 millionaires per day? 1,100, right? And you know, it doesn't matter where you were born, who your parents are, what type of education you got. You know, I'm a professor, right? You don't have to go to school to get educated, to get 3-4 degrees to become successful, okay? It's about, you know, learning simple financial concepts that you don't have to pay someone hundreds of thousands of dollars for to learn a simple, complex system. It's about taking control of your money, right? So we want to help you improve your financial psychology about money. We spoke about it earlier, right? You're either going to control your money or it's going to control you. So, Carl, what I am proud about is helping people, as I'm a real estate investor. Some of my tenants, I made homeowners, okay? So I'm very proud of that. And I screened them like I did mortgages, and they didn't even know I was going to sell a home to them. We did that. I've worked with people who made a few dollars, and we turned that into hundreds of thousands of dollars by just looking from within and making some key adjustments with your money mindset, right? Because we want to listen to you, help you with your financial goals, help you find alternative pathways, because if you're like me, we didn't have conversations at the home about money, right? People would talk that money's the root of all evil, you know, you gotta be rich to want a lot of money. You know, those people over there, those fancy suits, they don't care about us, right? But it's truly about your money mindset. And we're here to, you know, make dreams reality and to get you to the next level.
All right, I love that. Round of applause, everybody. Yo, guys, so I'm gonna ask really quick that when we have people talking, we're actually gonna take a break here in just a minute. But when we do have people talking, I'm gonna ask everyone to be respectful. Like, if you guys do want to carry on conversation, just take it outside, you know what I mean? And that way everyone can kind of hear. Is that okay?
Yep.
Yes. Everyone good with that?
Yes.
Love it. Okay, first of all, pretty good stuff so far, yes?
Yes.
All right, last question I have for you guys is this. I want to know what's like a common belief system that most people have that you know is completely false, but most people have adopted as like truth. All right, so as you gave a perfect example, Ty, right? I grew up and people used to always say, oh yeah, you know, money doesn't grow on trees. Like, what do you mean? What do I look like? A bank? Money doesn't grow on trees. And then after that, I got my first mentor, and then my second mentor, my third mentor, and they all said the same thing. And it was, money does grow on trees. The tree's up here. And if you can learn to plant the right money seeds, you can bear a tree that will bear fruit beyond your lifetime. And it was like, whoa, never heard that before. People around me never talked about that before. So none of us were worried about where do we find a money seed? How do we plant a money seed? We just went around saying money doesn't grow on what? Trees. So that was false. So that's an example for me. Okay, do you guys have one? I'm going to start with you, Albert. What's one common thought or belief someone has that you're working with and it's completely false? And what's the truth about it?
Well, first of all, you got to realize that you got to invest in yourself. That's the first thing. Don't, and I'm going to tell you the truth, it'll be on Facebook, on a cut-up, that don't tell anybody. If you're investing in yourself and you're spending money on programs, hate to tell you, you can't tell your family, because if you tell them what you're spending, you could be spending $10 and all the day, why would you spend that? And second of all, here's how I test a true entrepreneur. Are you willing to max out a credit card? Now, that sounds funny, but you know why I say that? Because I learned a long time ago that you always got to be all in. I'm not saying go max out the credit card to get drunk at the bar. I'm saying you go max out the credit card to go learn. You know, because credit card is money that you think obviously you got to go back and then go figure out how to pay it back. But that would be the second thing, you know. So you gotta go invest in yourself, and that once you start investing in yourself, good things will happen. And another thing I will tell you that I learned a long time ago, the second thing, is you always gotta go VIP. That's the number one way.
Why is that?
Um,
Go ahead.
I got can I tell you the quickest story ever?
All right, quick story for it.
So, he lives right down the street from here, Grant Cardinal, you ever heard that guy?
Yep.
Well, in 2017, maybe had that big event in Marlins Park. And this was pre-Bill, pre-everybody. So I was ambassador and I did everything. So I did like the diamond. And so in the group, and so I paid the money to be diamond. And which was on the floor. And I met somebody through the group that did the $10 ticket on the top. But at the end of the day, by going VIP all the time, those are the people you're gonna learn. Those are the people who are gonna be your buddies and friends and be your cheerleaders. Because all those naysayers and the cheap people, okay, can't use the other word because this will be on video, that guess what? You're never gonna get you because they're not gonna be in the game. Everybody who are the VIP players, who invest in themselves, who are the sponsors and all that, being the sponsor is investing myself because I get more talk time, which I talk a lot anyway, but that's another story. But it's the same thing, investing myself so I get to be in front, but still investing yourself. And that's the key to success, I think. And that's why I started with $10 and built a monster office.
Love it.
The question was,
It was, what's a common belief? Like
Limiting
something that's
belief.
common knowledge for people. Like another one is like, you know how many people grow up and it's like, oh, well, if you go to school, you get good grades, you'll get a good
Job.
job,
so,
right?
so,
Just
for my
over.
clients or for people in general?
People, it's mainly for like the people you're
I
working
work with?
but it could be for anyone in general. Just give
Looks
us
like mainly everybody's in here is an entrepreneur.
everybody, who here is an entrepreneur here in the room? Go ahead and raise your hand. All
Everybody.
right,
So-
there you go. That's your
My clients have this problem as well. I think everybody that sells anything, my clients sell haircuts. But I'm gonna kind of drop this gem for everybody in here because I think it's what will give you guys the most value. And I think people's biggest misconception is that they think that people don't have enough money to pay for what they offer. They think they can't afford it. That is a mistake. You just can't create a big enough problem and solution for them. You're trying to sell them instead of understand them and what triggers them. Because if you could paint a big enough problem, think about any time any of you have ever been in a tight situation. I think we all have been in that situation. Don't you always figure it out somehow? Listen, when you need money, you can access it. The problem is you're letting that limiting belief limit your ability to close and help clients because you think they don't have the money. No, it's can you identify and then amplify the problem, paint the picture with the solution, and get them to understand the fear of staying the same. And if you can do that, they will pay or find the money to pay for your service. And in my case, when it was haircuts, I teach my barbers the same exact thing. I create a problem. Somebody always pushes your hairline back, well, amp that problem up, make yourself the hairline restoration doctor. Create the solution and don't just sell a haircut, sell a solution to a problem. They always drop the beard down, or they brush, or they whatever. Amplify problems in your content, and you will attract people that want the solution that you're giving, and those people will pay more for your service.
All right, my man Ty, you're up. Good luck. You got some stuff to go up against there.
That's right. That's good information, man. That's hard to come. That's hard to come by. I would say, be careful who you take information from. Right? Be careful who you take information from. Coming to events like this is important. We get influenced different ways by our parents. I didn't have entrepreneurs in my family, so I didn't know how to become an entrepreneur. So what did I have to do? Go out and research other entrepreneurs and successful people and be around successful people to see what it really looks like, right? Don't listen to your broke cousins, broke family members, while you invest in money or building businesses. Why take advice from someone who hasn't built anything? That's why these events are important. Okay? Watch who you associate yourself with. If you want to become a successful entrepreneur, hang around other entrepreneurs. For the career professionals, treat your career like a case study, because if there's a problem going on in your organization, there's probably 100 other organizations that are enduring the same problems, right? And don't give these companies, when they're brain draining you, all your ideas. Keep your notebook, write some stuff down, because these are the type of actions that could lead to being a consultant, a coach, and like you were saying, feeling the need and solving, big time problems. Okay, so that would be my word of advice.
I love that, man. Round of applause for these guys. Got pretty good stuff so far, yes? You guys ready to get some more? Yeah, all right, cool. Let's do it after the break. So what we're gonna do now, guys, is we're actually gonna take a quick 15-minute break. First